We're here with Reverend Al Sharpton. Reverend, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We just came from a very inspiring luncheon address that you gave to the assembled lawyers here at the Mass Torts Made Perfect conference. And you told us a very intriguing and insightful story of how you found out about the connection between you and Thurmond, the Thurmond family. And I would love if you could share with our viewers what the lesson you took, the insight it gave you.
Well, a newspaper in New York traced my history and found that my great-grandfather was a slave in Edgefield, South Carolina, and he was owned by a man named Jefferson Sharpton, which is why we were named Sharpton, and Julia Thurmond, who became his wife, who was the first cousin to remove from Senator Strom Thurmond. And it was a startling revelation here. This slave-owning family produces 2 generations later one of the leading segregationists of the 20th century. And this slave family produces me, an activist. But it made me feel obligated. It made me think every day of my life of, in my own veins runs the blood of people who yearn to be free, who yearn to have a country that would not treat them as chattel and not treat them as property. It gave me a new sobering and a new defining of life. And as much as you can react with outrage and anger, at some points you say, you know something was expected of me. And I try to do something every day to vindicate what suffering happened to my own great-grandfather. This is not some thousands of years ago. This is my grandfather's father. And it's not as removed as we think, some of the atrocities that still impact us.
You know, when I was listening to you tell the going back in time, it is truly an American story. Don't you think this connection between these 2 extremes and yet the humanity that connects all of us together, an important lesson about we are more together than we are separate.
Well, Martin Luther King used to say that we all intertwined in some intertwining fabric of America. And I expect one day someone might even tell that story, write that story, the Thurmonds and the Sharptons, 2 American families, 2 different sides of the American experience on race, on class, on capitalism. It's a fascinating mirror to look at where we have come in the last 100 years and to focus on where we need to go as a result of from where we came.
Well, on that point, you gave a very stirring speech to the lawyers. You made them think about being more than just lawyers with a practice, just more than. Could you elaborate on that for our viewers?
What I challenge them is that you've got to be bigger than your practice. Be successful. Yeah, get the nice house, get the nice car, get the yacht if you want, but stand for something. Who will be the definers of how the law was used in this time, first part of the 21st century, to liberate people, to make health care available to people, to make education available to people, to end the disparity based on race and sentencing? There are big causes. The question is, are there big people? And in history, we've seen lawyers, whether they were in the abolitionist movement or the anti-Vietnam movement or the pro-labor movement or the women's suffrage movement or the civil rights movement, lawyers that became big enough for the big issues of their time. We need lawyers that are big issue, big at this time again, be big enough to be successful, but deal beyond that as well.
Are you hopeful as you view today's scene that there are lawyers who are heeding that message and taking up that cause to be bigger than their practice?
I'm very hopeful. If you would ask me to name some, I could only name a few. But I'm hopeful because I think that if you keep planting seeds, that someone will blossom and someone will grow. So every once in a while, Michael Hardy in New York is an example, and others that sort of become captured by more than themselves. Because at the end of the life, if all you do is for you, life really doesn't matter. You really need to make a statement that'll last longer than you.
You know, Reverend, you were a seed planter today, and I believe there'll be a rich harvest from your speech today. Thank you so much for inspiring all of us.
Always good to talk to you.
You take care.
Thank you.